So a little bit different of a shot there. Today we're going to compare the new Anytone D578 tri-band mobile radio to the TYT 9600 dual band mobile radio, both made for DMR, and it's coming up now.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to Ham Radio 2.0. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. This is your first time to join us here. We do reviews and how-tos of everything that's new in amateur radio on this channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing below and smashing that like button for me. All right, so the Anytone D578 is a tri-band mobile DMR radio that will do 2 meters, 220, and 440. I'm going to link my first video here, and throughout the course of this video, you'll probably see some more links pop up. Those are called YouTube cards. They'll pop up right there to all the different videos that I have done so far on the Anytone D578. This is, I think, the fourth. So you can find different stuff on that, how to program it, how to do the firmware updates, and all that kind of good stuff. But I wanted to do one that was an actual comparison. We'll switch back over to this view real quick right there. An actual comparison to the to the TYT MD-9600, which is the one on the top. Obviously, this is the 9600 right there. Let me get pin out. That's the 9600. That's the Anytone. Neither one of them actually have their names on the front of the radio, but they're on the top. You can see TYT right here. You can't see it in the camera, but it's there. But anyway, so okay, so some basic information. Okay, the TYT's been out longer, and it's only dual. I say only. It's a dual band. Okay, it's probably one of the more popular dual band DMR radios on the market right now. You can find, I'll put a link to both of these radios in the description below. You can find both of them on my sponsor's website, rnl.com, for RNL Electronics. And you can find them at various places on the internet as well. So the TYT is a dual band, and the Anytone is a tri-band. Okay, so the Anytone adds the 220 megahertz, 1.25 meter amateur band to the mix. Although the 220 band on the Anytone only outputs 5 watts, I'm still hoping that they improve that power output over time, because the Anytone AT-D578 UV3 radio, which is an analog-only tri-band radio that Anytone came out with a couple years back, has 2 meters, 220, 440, and it'll do 20 to 25 watt output on 220, while 2 meters and 440 do what, between 40 and 50 watts each, as they normally should. So I'm still hoping that Anytone can improve that power output on 220. But if you don't care about 220, then the TYT might work for you. If you do care about 220, then if you definitely want 220, then the Anytone's the only way to go, is the TYT doesn't have it. As you can see, I wanted to get a shot there. As you can see, the TYT has a much larger screen right here than the Anytone does. Now, the TYT screen is, they say it's a color screen. It's really not. It's not a color screen, because the only thing colored is the background. It's black text on a blue background. Okay, so instead of being black and white, it's blue and black. Okay, but you can go here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to knock that. Okay, I'm going to be real careful with that. You can go here. No. Menu. There. You can go into the menu. You can do utilities. See, it never really changes from black text. So you've got it's basically a monochrome screen. It's not black on white, but it's black on blue, and it's basically a monochrome screen. I put an extra light over here to get a little bit better lighting on the face of both of those, so I'm gonna make sure they're not washed out. That's good. Okay, so so the Anytone, as you can see, the one in the middle, this is a Again, special thanks to Richard and the folks at MFJ for this power supply. This power supply is freaking cool. I've done a video on it as well. 4230 DMP. It's got 2 power pole connections in the back, and it's a 30 amp power supply that weighs nothing. So check that out if you want to. The Anytone has a color screen, as you can see. It's got red, yellow, and blue text, and you can go in there and change that. It's one of the menu items in the radio itself or on the CPS, and you can change. You can set red text, orange text, green, blue, black, whatever you want to do. You can change the text color, so it is a true color screen. It's obviously much smaller than the TYT screen. Okay, so if you have trouble seeing, or if you don't, if you just want a larger screen, that's definitely the way to go. So at the time of this recording, the Anytone radio holds 200,000 contacts. No, I'm sorry, 300. I keep saying that wrong. I said that wrong in my first video too. The Anytone mobile D578 radio holds 300,000 contacts. Okay, the current database is just over 150. Okay, and of course it grows every day and every week. So it probably won't be too terribly long until we're at 300,000 contacts, maybe another year or so, I don't know. But the Anytone will hold the entire database worldwide of DMR contacts. In fact, that's a good place to link that. If you don't know what a DMR contact is, or you don't know how to load it in the Anytone, I'll link that video right there. So at last count, as far as I knew, the TYT MD-9600 only held 150,000 contacts. Now, I could be wrong about that. And I tried to confirm that before hitting record today. And the only thing I could really find, in fact, I found that let me see if I can switch this here. So I went directly to the source. I went to TYT888.com. That is where a lot of times I'll get emails from people asking, "Hey, where can I get the latest firmware?" Because I used to try to keep that updated on one of my websites, and it was a nightmare because TYT, Anytone, and these companies would release firmware and they wouldn't tell you about it, or they wouldn't tell the vendors about it. So I tried to get. So I just tell people to go to the website. I tell people to go to the vendor's website. So TYT888.com is TYT's website. If you go down here, it doesn't really say anything about number of contacts held, which I think is a huge mistake on so many different vendors' websites, that they don't tell you how many contacts. In fact, this right here is wrong. Okay, I know for a fact that this is wrong. This right here is a copy-paste job from one of their previous HTs. 250 zones and 16 channels for each zone. The TYT 9600 holds more than 16 channels in a zone. It just does. Okay, I've got 25 channels in this zone right now. That number right there, 25, next to the Backyard Repeater Group out of Kansas, that's the 25th channel in that zone. So I can go 24, 23, and I can go all the way up to 25, and then it starts over at 1 again. So that information on TYT's website is wrong. And I went to RNL's website, and they just copy-pasted that information from that TYT website. Why wouldn't you? TYT should have the most accurate information about their own radio, but they don't. So nowhere can I find anywhere that says how many contacts the 9600 actually holds. At the time of this recording, China, TYT is on the Chinese New Year, which they get back from in like a week. And I will have some contacts over there, and I will follow up with them and see if they've made an update to that. But as far as I can tell right now, that is, I mean, the last I heard, it was 150,000 contacts. I kind of hope they have updated that by now, but I don't know that for sure. I don't want to tell you one thing and have it be something else. So at this time, I don't know. And I can't find it on their website, which is kind of strange. There's the latest. Okay. In fact, the latest version of CPS, and I'm looking on their website right now, the latest version of CPS and software they have for that specific model right here is from April of 2018. Almost 2 freaking years old. I know they've had I say I know. I'm 90% sure. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, there's a new one. There's a new one. Okay, shoot, I missed that. Oops. MD-9600 for USA, right there. That's from January of 2019. That's still over. It's still about a year ago. Yeah, that's the latest one I see. So, maybe it'll say. I'm pretty sure I've got this downloaded already, but I want to see if there's a document in here that says date file CPS 26. MD-9600 has 100,000 contacts. This is the latest document from TYT's website, but again, it's 1 year old. I think that it's higher than that. I think it's actually 150. So more to come on that later. I'm spending too much time talking about that. So 300,000 contacts on the Anytone, less than that on the 9600. Put it that way. Okay. Both of them have 2,000 to 3,000 channels. I've never seen anyone actually fill that up before. You can get an MD-9600 with a GPS enabled. Now, what does GPS do? Well, it'll tell you your current position. Sometimes people ask me, what does the GPS this radio do? It tells you your position. Well, I know what GPS itself does. What does it do in this radio? And my answer is the same. It tells you your position. It really doesn't do much. Okay? It's not really that useful. Now, there are some repeaters, Brandmeister repeaters, that will allow you to transmit GPS information to the repeater, so it'll report it out to the APRS network. And there's a way to set kind of a customized channel to do that. I've always thought that was kind of a hack, and which is not. There's nothing wrong with a hack, but it's not compatible with 100% of the repeaters. So I kind of thought it was a waste of time. But if there's nothing but GPS enabled repeaters around you, then it might be okay in your area. But it's going to depend on where you are. So the Anytone has actual APRS. There's an APRS menu in the Anytone radio where you can set your call sign /2/3/ whatever. You can set all your information. You can set 144.59, I think it is. I always get that wrong too. It's either 39 or 59. For the analog APRS announcement channel, whatever you call it. And I say call. I want to say calling frequency. That's not what it is. But the national 2-meter APRS channel that will report that if you're driving by an iGate or a digipeater, it will report your position to APRS.FI. Okay, so you can do all that with the Anytone. You can do it in the TYT on the digital DMR side, but it's kind of weird to work. And I'm told that the APRS on Anytone kind of sometimes works and sometimes does not work at this point too. But again, that's something that they can update with firmware. So if there's any bugs in it, report it to your authorized Anytone dealer, and they can then report it back to Anytone, and they can get that stuff updated. The Anytone also has Bluetooth, so you can take a Bluetooth headset and or one of these PTT buttons that comes with it came with the Anytone, but one of these PTT buttons here that'll connect via Bluetooth. It has a charging port on the side for micro USB. It'll connect via Bluetooth, so you can push to talk and then talk into your headset into the Anytone radio. Same thing that comes with the D878 UV Plus with Bluetooth. Okay, so you can get a version of the Anytone with Bluetooth and GPS, or with Bluetooth and APRS. You can get it with APRS only, you can get it with Bluetooth only, or you can get it with nothing. Okay, so the varying prices of those radios online, make sure you know what you're buying. The Pro model, what they call the Pro model, is the one with everything. And that's the one I've got right here because I wanted Bluetooth and APRS because I'm going to do videos on those features upcoming. So definitely more feature packed in the Anytone, higher price tag. RNL has the MD-9600 right now for $269, and they have the Pro model with APRS and Bluetooth for $399, which that's what it is everywhere. Your Bridgecom has the Pro model for $399. Some sites might be giving away a free antenna or a free this or a free that with it, but the price is going to be $399 because that's what Anytone has asked everyone to sell it for. So it's about $150 more expensive. Now the one that doesn't have anything, I think is around, I want to say it's around $199. No, $299. The one that doesn't that has no APRS and no Bluetooth, I think is around $299. For the Anytone model. Depend on that. I haven't really looked. Not everyone's carrying that one. In fact, RNL, last I checked, they only carry the Pro model because it's one of the coolest things about that radio is that it has APRS and it has Bluetooth in it. So they're talking about releasing a screen later on that will Bluetooth connect to your Anytone radio, and you'll mount the screen somewhere in your vehicle, and it'll have a microphone coming. Actually, it might have a Bluetooth microphone, but then you've got a screen and a microphone via corded to the screen or via Bluetooth, whichever, that goes back, and you can mount your radio in the car, in your trunk of your car, or underneath your seat. So all these people with space restrictions in their vehicles, you will be able to get a remote mounted head that doesn't have a cable running to the radio. It connects via Bluetooth. So I've heard from 3 or 4 different sources that that's coming. So you'll see it on this channel when it's here, I assure you. There's probably a lot more features than that. Those are the ones you're going to want to touch on. Those are the ones that most people are going to be looking at primarily. Neither one of these radios right now has a removable face. Again, the Anytone is working on a Bluetooth face that will connect without a wire to the radio, and it'll let you use all the features and use push to talk through it. So that'll be fun. But when you buy, as of the time of this recording, if you buy either one of these radios right now, you can't take the face off and remote it mountly remote it. I said remote it mountly. Remotely mount it. Why can't I say that? Remotely mount it in your car or your shack or wherever. You can't remotely mount the head off of either one of these radios because it doesn't separate like it does on a TYT 7800 or a FTM 100 Yaesu or a ID 5100, ID 2730 ICOM, something like that. So that is that. So the question I'm going to get is, so Jason, which one would you pick? Somebody will ask that, and I would pick the Anytone. Okay, I was disappointed by the Anytone. By the size of the screen. That's basically the only, well, no. The size of the screen and the fact that it only output 5 watts on 220. Those are the 2 biggest disappointments for me with the Anytone. The output on 220 can be fixed with firmware. So I still have hopes for that. The screen size can't be fixed because it's not technically broken. So, but if I had to pick one right now, I would still say the Anytone because I like 220. You can put a 220 amp on the back of it if you want to. I like the actual APRS features of it, and I like the Bluetooth of it. Okay, so it's just got more features, and it's more future-proof because it does hold 300,000 contacts, where the TYT doesn't. Whatever the number of contacts the MD-9600 holds right now, it's not 300,000. It's either 100 or 150. It might be 200, but it's not 300. I've seen no evidence at all from anywhere that TYT has upgraded their package to hold 300,000 contacts. So I just don't think that exists right now. Wouldn't be surprised if they updated it later, again with firmware. But as of right now, that's just not true. So if I had to pick one, I would pick the Anytone. If you're concerned about being able to see the tiny screen and you don't care about 220, get the TYT. I've had this TYT in the shack for over a year and a half. Used it a lot. You can see right there the zone I'm on right now is called Open Spot. I use it in my Open Spot. I just call the zone Open Spot. I use it on my DX Mini and my Pi-Star hotspots and my Open Spots. I just call the zone Open Spot. That's my hotspot channel, or hotspot zone, I should say. And then I've got all these channels in it. And it works great there. I can put it on the external antenna outside and key up a couple of the local repeaters with it, both analog and DMR. Works fine, no problems with it. I've had really good luck with it. It's easy to program. It's easy to update the firmware on, but so is the Anytone. The Anytone's a little bit more difficult in programming, in my opinion. It's a little bit more difficult to program the Anytone, especially if you're transitioning from an HT to a mobile radio, which again, right there, I have a video on how to take your 878 code plug and import it into your D578 mobile radio. So there is that. There's probably a lot more stuff I could talk about, but I don't want to be too long-winded, and I don't want the video to be 45 minutes long. I did want to give you a basic overview. Most people who are trying to decide which radio to buy are going to want one of these features I just talked about today is probably at the top of your list for what will it do, what will it not do. Some people ask about voice. Will the radio talk to you and tell you like channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, that kind of thing. I don't generally look for something like that. In fact, when I get a new radio that has that, I generally turn it off because I don't like that. I don't like listening to it. But I know some people are seeing impaired or sight impaired, and you're looking for that sort of thing. I can't remember. It's been so. Let's see. Oh, I don't have the mic. Oh, that's something else I wanted to show everybody. You know what? I'm gonna have to research that. That's not something I looked at. I just now thought of it, so I didn't research that prior to hitting record. I don't know if either one. I can't remember on the 9600. I'm pretty sure the 9600 does have a voice that says channel 1, channel 2, but you have to know what the channels are because it's not going to read the channel name to you. The Anytone, I don't know. I haven't tried it. Because I don't have. My light fell, so I don't have. That's just not something I usually need, so I don't look at it. But I know a lot of you as viewers look at that and ask about that. So my plan is to try to get a little bit better with looking at that specific feature. So anyway, that's not going to be in this video. I did want to show, I'm moving this around here. I did want to show you the difference between, just because, the difference in the two microphones. So this is the TYT, obviously, TYT, Anytone. Those are marked. Unlike the faces of each radio, the microphones are actually marked. So you've got a single PTT on both radios. Keypad, AB button. Is the AB, well, these are lights right here that light up. So if you're on the A band or B band, those are lights that light up. And then, let's see. Yeah, those are lights also. So you've got a channel up down knob on top of the Anytone mic, but not the TYT mic. The TYT channel up down is right here in the front. You've got 4 programmable buttons here, and 4 programmable buttons here on the TYT, and here on the Anytone. So it's got a few more buttons on the Anytone, and it's a little bit larger. The microphone element is here on the Anytone. The microphone element is there. I'm sorry, microphone element is here on the TYT, right there. Microphone element is here on the Anytone. And the Anytone has a speaker mic in it. Now, at one point in time, I was trying to tell people that the difference between the beta and non-beta versions are that the speaker mic right here had these 4 holes in the center filled in, and I think I misspoke and said that this was the microphone. I just said it wrong, okay? I didn't mean that this... I meant that the microphone had 4 holes in the center here in the production model. But this is the actual speaker mic. There's a speaker mic built into the Anytone mobile radio, which, again, I think is stupid. I think having a speaker microphone, a speaker like this that you can listen to in a mobile radio is dumb. I mean, if you like that and you use it, then great. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use it. There's something wrong with it. I don't get it. I mean, why? I turned it off. I don't use it when I have these plugged in over there. I don't use it. There's you can put in there's a speaker in the radio, and there's an external speaker port in the back of both radios, and you can turn in. In fact, I think that the Anytone might even have dual speaker ports where you can do A side and B side, something like that. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. I don't feel like picking all that up right now to turn around and look at the back. Anyway, a little bit difference in the microphone. Just want to show the difference in the microphones there. Not a big deal. So 73, let me know in the comments below which radio you use. Maybe some of you have both of them. Let me know which one you like better. If you've sold your 9600 to get some money back to try to buy an Anytone, let me know that. Let me know what features you like, what features you don't like, what features you'd like to see upcoming on both radios. And we'll catch you next time.